Welcome once again to our lecture series in Chemical Reaction Engineering 2. In our last lecture, we have studied the case of mixed flow of particles of single unchanging size and the resistance which we considered was gas film diffusion controlling. Now we will study the same case with the change in resistance. Now we will consider chemical reaction to be controlling. We know 1 minus xb bar is equal to 0 to tau 1 minus t by tau whole cube into capital E dt, where E is exit age distribution function and it is represented as e raised to minus t by t bar divided by t bar. When gas film diffusion was controlling, this bracket was 1 minus t by tau only. This cubic term is because of change in resistance, that is chemical reaction controlling, and that we have studied in kinetics part. Now we have to solve this integral. To solve this integral, this tau cube from the denominator will take out, and tau minus t I will write as minus of t by tau, and cubic term is there with the minus sign, so 1 minus sign will come out, and this 1 upon minus t bar into tau cube we have taken out as constant, where our integration is now 0 to tau t minus tau whole cube e raised to minus t by t bar dt. This we have to solve by parts again. So we'll consider this portion only as A, and so our 1 minus xb bar will be equal to this constant minus 1 upon t bar into tau cube multiplied by this integration. So we'll solve this integration first. So this, when I solve, first function into integration of second minus integration of derivative of first into integration of second. So we have written these terms. So first function as it is, integration of the second is e raised to minus t bar. This will be minus t bar into e raised to minus t by t bar. Derivative of t minus tau whole cube. So this will be 3 into t minus tau whole squared, and integration of this term e raised to minus t by t bar is again minus t bar e raised to minus t by t bar. So these two functions are same, integration is same. So we have solved this step. Now this portion again we have a term t minus t bar square here. So we'll take it as another constant. This again we have to integrate by parts. So minus 3t bar into t minus tau square into e raised to minus t by t bar. This I have written from the previous expression. This minus sign I am associating with this 3. So minus 3 t bar. So minus 3 t bar, this I have taken common, and this integration by parts I have to solve. First function into integration of second, integration of this function we know, minus integration of derivative of first will be 2 into t minus tau into integration of second, that also we know, the same function, same integration. So this minus t bar and this 2, this will take outside, minus 2 t bar, this term I have taken outside, the way we have taken this minus 3 t bar, and this t minus tau into e raised to minus t by t bar. Again I am getting one function which once again I will have to solve by parts. So this I am writing as another constant, let us say c is equal to this minus 2t bar first function into integration of second minus integration of derivative of first into integration of second. So first function as it is, integration of second we know, minus t bar into e raised to minus t by tau minus integration of this is 1, derivative of this is 1 into integration of this minus t bar into e raised to minus t by t bar, this we know. So this we have written, derivative of this function is 1, derivative of constant is 0, derivative of t dt by dt is 1. So this we have solved. So minus 2 t bar, this constant is outside, t minus tau minus t bar e raised to minus t by t bar as it is, then t bar into e raised to minus t by t bar, integration of this. So integration of this e raised to minus t by t bar into minus 1 upon t bar. So minus 1 upon t bar, that goes in the numerator and minus minus become plus. So this becomes t bar square into e raised to minus t by t bar. This minus minus become plus, this minus sign is as it is. Now we will substitute all these values of a, b and c. So a we have substitute minus b minus c. So all these values when I substitute from the previous equations, so the first term t minus tau whole cube minus t bar into e raised to this one, minus minus plus plus t by t bar t minus tau whole square minus t bar into this is second term I get, and here I have this 3 and 2, 3 into 2 is 6, 6 t bar square minus minus plus minus minus plus. So t bar square t minus tau into bracket this term as it is. For this term again I have 6t square and this is t square, so 6t raised to 4, I get this minus minus plus minus minus plus, but this minus sign is retained and I will get this term. So what I am doing here is 1 upon tau cube I am keeping outside, and I am dividing throughout by this term minus t by tau bar throughout. So minus t by tau bar, if I divide, this becomes 1. So my first term is this. This if I divide minus t bar by minus t bar, this also becomes 1. So that goes, and I am left with 3 t bar t minus tau square into this term. If I look at this term again, here minus t bar we have, that goes, so I get the remaining terms, and here minus t bar, so if I divide by minus t bar, this becomes cube, and minus minus I get plus sign here, so plus 6 t bar cube e raised to minus t by tau. These terms I write further. So I have solved this integral, and now I have to substitute the limits 0 to tau. So first upper limit when I substitute, here I have t minus tau, I am substituting tau for t, t minus tau, this becomes 0, t minus tau term you have here, this becomes 0, t minus tau, this becomes 0, and all the terms in the products will be 0 with the upper limit. So first 3 terms become 0, and the last term 6 t bar cube e raised to minus t is tau. So 6 t cube e raised to minus tau by t bar I get from the upper limit, only one term. Now if I substitute the lower limit here, so e raised to minus t by t bar everywhere. So e raised to 0, this becomes e 1. So all these exponential term becomes 1. So I am left with these terms only, and upper limit I have done only one term I got. Lower limit, this I am substituting 0. So here 1 1 1 1, so I will get all the terms with minus sign, because I am subtracting this minus sign, and I will substitute here in this bracket all the lower limits. So minus tau cube, because t is equal to 0. So minus tau cube plus 3t bar minus tau square plus 6t bar square minus tau, and this becomes 1. So 6t bar cube. So I have got all these terms. Okay. So look at the signs here. Minus tau cube is minus sign, minus minus becomes plus. So here I have this plus sign. Again look at this, plus 3t bar minus tau whole square is plus sign here, and with this minus sign this becomes minus. So I will get minus sign for this t bar whole square. Then here I have next term 6t bar square. Okay, 6t bar square, this minus sign I have, so minus minus becomes plus 6t bar square tau. So this term 6t bar square tau, and the last term I have 6t bar cube, and outside the bracket I have minus sign. So the last term here is minus 6t bar cube. So in this, actually this is not difficult, but you have more and more term involved. Repeatedly you are doing integration by parts, and one due care you have to take is always take proper care when you solve the brackets for sign changes. Okay, so 1 minus xb bar is equal to, now this tau cube we have, so we will divide throughout by tau cube and see what happens. So first term t bar by tau whole cube e raised to minus t by tau. Tau cube by tau cube plus 1 minus 3 t bar by here tau square by tau cube. So I get minus 3 t bar by tau term. Here tau by tau cube. So I get this 6 into t bar by tau square. And the last one is t bar cube by tau cube. So t bar by tau whole cube, and this 6 is constant associated with it. So we have multiplied by this term to all the terms in the bracket. Now here further simplification, if I want to do, I am writing this as xb now. This is 1 minus xb. So if I write it as xb, I have to change the sides of all these terms. So this plus 1 becomes minus 1, minus minus 0, and all these signs will change. So this is minus 6 into this term, plus 3 into this term, minus 6 into this term, and plus. So all the signs will change as we transfer this on this side. Minus xb becomes plus xb, so plus xb on this side, and 1 minus 1 cancels out. So what I get is, here if you look at this term 6 t bar by tau whole cube and 6 t bar by tau whole cube. So this if I take common, this is plus 1 minus e raised to minus t by tau. So for first and last term I can write this by taking this term common, plus 3 t bar by tau minus 6 t bar by tau whole square. So I get this simplified expression. Now like earlier case, if I write the expansion for 1 minus e raised to minus tau by t bar, this term. So this we have done. I will not explain it again. You can refer to the last lecture. So this becomes tau by t bar minus 1 by 2 factorial, tau by t bar square plus 1 by 3 factorial, tau by t bar cube and so on. All higher orders you can write. So xb I can write as 6 into t bar by tau whole cube. For 1 minus e raised to minus tau by t bar, I can write this bracket. So this bracket as it is I have reproduced here, and plus 3 t by t bar by tau minus 6 t bar by tau whole square, this term we have. So we proceed further with this same equation I have again taken here from the last page. So if I solve this, so first term 6 into this, so all the terms I am multiplying, I have written all the terms in the bracket, and finally plus 3 t bar by tau minus 6 t bar by tau whole square. So xb will be equal to product of this term. So this is t bar by tau, tau by t bar. Okay, so this cancels out, you get 6 into t bar by tau whole square term. 2 factorial is 2, 6 by 2 is 3, cube and square, so you get here index is 1, so simply t bar by tau. Here 3 into 2, 3 factorial is 6, 6 goes, and this term cancels out, reciprocals, so into what you get here, 3 factorial, 3 into 2, 6, 6 cancels out, and this also cancels out, so you get only 1. So 1 by 4 factorial, 4 factorial is 4 into 3, 12 into 2, 24. So 6 by 24 is 1 by 4, and here I get, this is cube, this is raised to 4, so index is 1. And here this is tau raised to 4, so tau by t bar. Okay, here you have t bar by tau, t bar by tau, here tau by t bar. Next 1 by 5 factorial. Okay, so you get this term 5 factorial, 5 into 4, 20 into 3, 60 into 2, 120. So 126 by 120 is 20, and this is cube and this is tau raised to 5. So you get 1 by 20 with plus sign, tau square, and similarly you get this term, last term 1 by 120 for this, and this is cube and this is raised to 6, 6 minus 3, so this index becomes 3, and you have this term as it is plus t bar by tau and 6 t bar. So this I have written as it is. Now you can see here the first term and the last term, and second term and second last term. So these terms are same. So this cancels out, this cancels out, this cancels out, this cancels out. So we are left with xb is equal to 1 minus 1 by 4 tau by t bar plus 1 by 20 tau by t bar whole square minus 1 by 120 tau by t bar whole cube and so on. So you can write higher orders, but first three terms are sufficient, as higher orders terms will be still smaller and smaller, whether the plus sign or minus sign. So this becomes negligible as compared to the addition of these first three terms. So three terms will be sufficient here. So now finally we want expression again in terms of 1 minus xb. So 1 minus xb, this I write on this side and all the signs will change. So minus becomes plus 1 by 4, this plus 1 by 20 becomes minus 1 by 20, minus 1 by 20 becomes plus 1 by 20 cube. So this is the final expression for chemical reaction controlling mixed flow of particles of single unchanging size. Now if we extend this further to ash resistance controlling, now you know for ash resistance controlling, again what we have done, first we had a term, first term 1 minus t by tau. For chemical reaction controlling it was 1 minus t by tau whole cube, and now for ash resistance controlling you have three terms in that. So your integration becomes very cumbersome, lengthy, and you will not be able to solve it in very short amount of time, but still this has been solved and published in a research paper by Yagi and Kunni in 1961, and this final result, okay, anyway 1 minus xb bar is equal to 1 by 5 minus 19 by 420. So this tau by t bar whole square, tau by t bar whole cube, tau by t bar raised to 4, these terms will be there, and these constants are different now, plus 1 by 5 minus 19 by 420 plus 41 by 4620 minus 0.00149. So whatever ratio this comes out to be. So this expression for ash layer diffusion resistance controlling for mixed flow of particles of solids of single unchanging size and uniform gas environment, you will have to use this expression. So this final expression, so only these coefficients are different in all these cases. So you have to remember these coefficients so that you can calculate 1 minus xb bar mean unconverted. So mean conversion 1 minus xb is mean of unconverted. So this is for single unchanging size mixed flow of particles, all three resistances we have seen. Now we will extend this to mixed flow of size mixture of particles of unchanging size and uniform gas composition. So here this we know, Fri by F is the fraction of the feed, Wri by W is the weight of solids, this weight fraction in the reactor. So at feed rate is F for the solids in a fluidized bed, okay, and here uniform gas composition. And what is the change? Now we are using mixture of particles of unchanging size. So we have different fractions of different radius of the particles. So we have found out this mean conversion, mean value for mixed flow for this mean term xb bar is because of there is only single size, but all ages we have summed up. Now here all ages we have plus all sizes. So this concept of 1 minus xb bar will write as 1 minus xb double bar. So here we are summing up all the ages and all the sizes. So here we will have this quantity. So T bar of size Ri, weight of all the solids in the reactor, so feed rate of all the solids in the reactor is W by F. Okay. So T bar for all the sizes, and similarly for different sizes we can write this equation. W is the quantity of material in the reactor, where WRI is the quantity of the material of size Ri. In addition, for this flow, the mean residence time T bar Ri of material of any size Ri equal to the mean residence time of the solids in the bed. So with this definition, what we will do, this 1 minus xb bar for size Ri, that we know between 0 to and maximum limit will be tau for Ri, 1 minus xb of Ri into e raised to minus t bar, t by t bar divided by t bar into dt. This we have already seen. This was for mixed flow of solids and single unchanging size xb bar when summed up for all the ages. Here the feed consists of particles of different sizes. So we have to sum up this for all sizes. So mean value of the fraction unconverted is 1 minus xb double bar, that is equal to summation of all the sizes 0 to Rm. Rm is the maximum radius. Fraction unconverted in the particles of size Ri. So 1 minus xb Ri, that is this value, which will be calculated from this side of the expression. Okay. When you will sum up all Ri's for different ages, and each Ri, this fraction we will multiply. So 1 minus xb Ri multiplied by Fri by F, this fraction, and if three different sizes are there, you have say R1, R2, R3, then you have 1 minus xb of R1, F of R1 by F, plus 1 minus xb of R2 into F of R2 by F, plus 1 minus xb of R3 into F of R3 by F. So this way you can add up any number of terms. So, and we don't have to derive any expression, we have already derived this part, the first part. Okay, that is 1 minus xb bar for any Ri. So for film diffusion control, chemical reaction control, and ash layer, for film diffusion controls, okay, this tau by t bar for any value of Ri. So then square term, then you have cubic term. So we have written only first two terms here. For film diffusion, it is 1 by 2 factorial minus 1 by 3 factorial. Here you have 1 by 4 and 1 by 20. Here you have 1 by 5 and minus 19 by 420. So this is 1 minus xb bar, and this we are multiplying by the corresponding fraction. Okay, and if you have such three sizes, so you will write these three terms for R1, R2, R3, and depending on which resistance is controlling, you can find out xb double bar, that is mean conversion for mixed flow of particles of different but unchanging size. So you should know the particle size distribution, and you can easily solve this by using this expression. So same equation, just with extension of summation of 1 minus xb bar into corresponding fraction Fri by F will give you 1 minus xb double bar. Now we will study the cases of instantaneous reaction. So reactions are gas solid reactions again, and the reactions are instantaneous, means as soon as the gas and solid come into contact, immediately the reaction takes place and the limiting reactant will be consumed. The reactant which is in excess will be still there in unconverted form. So when the reaction between gas and solid is fast enough or instantaneous, so that any volume element or part of the reactor contains only one or other of the two reactants, but not both at the same time, meaning thereby wherever in any element of volume the reactants come into contact, the reaction being instantaneous, immediately the product is formed. So at any time both will not be present in any volume element of the reactor, that is for instantaneous reaction. So this extreme case we are considering, which is approached in the high temperature combustion of finely divided solids, and in this situation the prediction of the performance of the reactor is straightforward and dependent only on the stoichiometry of the reaction. So only the stoichiometry will decide the fate of the reaction. The kinetics do not enter the picture. So the instantaneous reactions are not controlled by the chemical reaction step or kinetics. They are not kinetically controlled, but the resistance, mass transfer term will be the controlling factor. So as soon as the gaseous reactant overcome the resistance offered by the gas film, or if ash layer is there by the ash layer and it comes into contact with the solid, reaction being instantaneous, immediately the products are formed. So for instantaneous reactions they are not kinetically controlled but diffusion control or mass transfer control. So we will see the example of batch of solids. Here we will consider two situations, one of packed bed and one of fluidized bed. No bypassing of the gas in the form of large gas bubbles. In both the cases, the leaving gas is completely converted and remains that way so long as the solid reactant is still present. So solid reactant is in excess of stoichiometric requirement. As soon as all solids are consumed, and this occurs the instant the stoichiometric quantity of the gas has been added, then the conversion of the gas will drop to 0. So this will look from these two examples. This is packed bed or fixed bed reactor, and this is fluidized bed reactor. In both the cases, here we have gas solid reactions. Solids are in fixed bed or packed bed conditions, and gas is passing from the bottom to top. So here from the top what will leave? The completely converted gas or the reacted gas, and the solids being in excess of the stoichiometric requirement, there will be complete conversion of the solids and still you will have unconverted solids in the reactor, and this will establish a reaction front which will be moving based on the concentration of the gas we are using. Here in the fluidized bed reactor, so bed is fluidized, solids are in suspended continuously mixing, the mixed flow reactor conditions are there, and here you have fresh gas, and here what is leaving is completely converted gas. So progressive conversion of the solids with time, as it is continuously mixing, solids are uniformly mixed. So here we will have the progressive conversion of the solids as we have seen in the mixed flow conditions. So in packed bed reactor and fluidized bed reactor, the conditions will be different. In packed bed reactor, depending on the concentration of the gas, the reaction front will move This is the reaction front where both are reacted instantaneously, and this will move as the concentration changes. Whereas here we have complete mixed conditions and the conversion is progressive. Next example, we will see counter current plug flow of gas and solids. Since only one or other reactant can be present at any level in the bed, there will be a sharp reaction plane where the reactants meet. So, reactants meet at the sharp reaction plane, and this will occur either at one end or other end of the reactor depending upon the field stream is in excess. So, if we assume that 100 moles of solid combines with 100 moles of gas, stoichiometry is 1:1. So, we will see two examples here, this figure A and figure B. Stoichiometry is 1:1, so 100 moles will need 100 moles. So, here in the first case we are supplying little less than the stoichiometric quantity, that is 99 moles of gas per unit time. And here, as this is just less than this, here the reaction zone is established where gas as well as solid both are present immediately at this reaction zone. Instantaneously the reaction will take place. So, 99 moles per hour are consumed, and here we are supplying 100 moles, and this is continuously being fed. So, continuously the fresh feed is available here. So, our reaction zone is at the bottom. Here I am considering the second case where I am supplying more than the stoichiometric requirement of the quantity. So, this is always available, as this is 100 and this is more than this. So, in this reactor gas is always available in excess of this. So, completely converted solids will be there throughout the reactor, and here as this is little less than this, the reaction zone is shifted here. So, reaction zone is here. Okay. So, where will be the reaction zone? Where the reactant is in the less quantity as we compare the two feed rates. Next case, we may wish the reaction to occur at the center of the bed, because that will give you better heat exchange. Heat exchange is also important. So, in these two cases we have seen that whether you supply little less or little more than the stoichiometric quantity, the reaction zone is either at the bottom or either at the top. We wish to shift it in the center of the bed so that there will be efficient heat exchange. So, this can be done by matching the gas and the solid flow rate. So, which is not very easy, it requires sophisticated control of the flow rates. The second and the best alternative is introduce a slight excess of gas at the bottom of the bed and then remove a bit more than this in excess at the point where the reaction is occurring. So, this is clarified here. So, what we are doing is, this is 100, this is 101 again, slightly more than the stoichiometric quantity we are supplying, and here we are removing 2 moles per unit time from this. So, if 101 and 100 is there, if you allow the same condition to take place, this will be completely converted and reaction zone will shift to the top of the reactor. We want to arrest this movement. So, what we do is, we will have to remove some amount. So we are removing this. So it becomes 99. So here it is 99. So what we are doing? 99 and 101. So here you are supplying 101 and here you are bringing down it to 99, so that we can maintain this reaction zone somewhere in the center. So we are considering instantaneous reaction cases only. So here one more example of counter current, uh, not counter current, co-current. So solids and gas both are entering from the top and moving in the same direction. And here you have cross current flow, solids in this direction and the gas is perpendicular to this. That means you have cross current flow. So here all the reaction occur at the feed end, and this represents a poor method of contacting with regard to efficiency of the heat utilization. So here the reaction zone is here, instantaneous reaction. As soon as both come into contact, it is consumed. Okay, so reaction zone is here. In this case, so what we want is, we want to increase the efficiency of heat utilization. So this is a poor representation. So co-current flow in this case is not advisable. We will see the cross current flow. There will be a definite reaction plane in the solids whose angle depends solely on the stoichiometry and the relative feed rate of the reactants. So here the heat transfer characteristics or heat utilization will somewhat modify, will be somewhat better. Here we have this reaction plane where here you have completely converted gas, here you have completely converted solids. So you can see here this fresh feed is shown like this, completely converted is shown darker. So here this is fresh feed, and this is completely converted. So in cross current flow we have this kind of, so here it is completely converted, so gas is flowing here. So unreacted B is not available, so complete gas leaving at this end is unreacted. Whereas here the gas is entering, fresh feed is available, so completely converted gas you will get here. So these are counter current, co-current and cross current arrangements, and in counter current we have seen three different cases of adjustment of the stoichiometric flow rate, so that you take little more than the stoichiometric requirement, little less than the stoichiometric requirement, amount of gas you can manipulate, and reaction zone will be either at the bottom or at the top, and you can adjust it just by withdrawing some amount, small amount of gas which is fed from the bottom. So you can adjust your reaction zone at the center, and that is desirable. Okay, so now we will shift to the exercises and problems from the exercise. We'll start with the simple problem. Shrinking core model as diffusion controls. Conversion is 80%. If the reactor size is doubled and other conditions remain same, what would be the conversion if the solids in plug flow. So XB is equal to 0.8, and if it is doubled, what will be the new value of XB? We have to find out. This is for ash diffusion control. So ash diffusion controls or ash layer diffusion controls, we know the expression T by tau is equal to 1 minus 3 into 1 minus XB raised to 2 by 3 plus 2 into 1 minus XB. So XB, this is 1 minus XB and this is T by tau. So XB values, we know that they are varying from 0 to 1 only. So I am taking 0.1, 0.2 and so on. So this value, I am taking arbitrary values. So for these corresponding values, 1 minus XB, of course you can write, and I am calculating T by tau using this expression. So these are my calculated values. So what I get from here is, for this value of 0.8, XB is equal to 0.8, T by tau is 0.374, this value. Now if the size is doubled, what happens? This is doubled. So 0.374 becomes 0.748. So what I want to find out is what should be the conversion. So for this T by tau, from this equation, for this value of T by tau, what will be the new value of XB bar? So this I will have to find out by trial and error. So what I am doing here is, so if it is doubled, it will be definitely more than 0.8. So I will take the values more than 0.8. So 0.8, 0.9 and 1. So I want the values in between. So I am taking this by 0.91 to 1. Okay, because for 0.9 it is 0.554. Okay, and we want for 0.748 and this value is 1. So my value of conversion for this value I want. So I want value in between. So between this I am taking this 9192 and so on, and I calculate this once again, and now this is 0.748. So for 0.749 this is matching to 0.965. So I can say that XB is equal to 0.965 or conversion is 96.5% if the reactor size is doubled for plug flow. Okay, so these are the calculated results. You can find directly from this equation by trial and error calculations. Just to make this clear, I have written this in terms of the table and given you the values. This is not necessary, you can directly calculate by trial and error calculations, which is very easy and simple. Next problem, shrinking core model as diffusion controls. If the reactor size is doubled, other conditions being same, what should be the value of XB bar? XB bar is equal to what? This I want to find out. Solids are in mixed flow. So for all ages, you will sum up and we get XB bar for mixed flow condition. XB only for plug flow condition single size. So here feed rate remains same gas composition. So Fa01 and Fa02 are same, Ca01, Ca02 are same. So 1 I am using for the original reactor, 2 I am using for the reactor when we are doubling the size. Conditions W1. Okay, reactor size is doubled, feed rate remains same, so same weight will be there. So there is a difference. Reactor size is changed, but the feed remains same feed you are using. Hence the residence time will be same in both cases, and so the conversion will be same. So here you have to note that the reactor size do not play any role. Weight of the solids are important.